There's no denying that the coronavirus pandemic has had a damaging impact on the entire globe. In the United States of America, more than 20,000 African Americans, about 1 in 2,000, the entire black population in the nation, have died from this disease. It's essential that we are informed about ways to stay ready and keep healthy in our communities. We have assembled experts in the medical field to give us advice and direction. This is A Race to Action, and I am your host, Stevie Mack. Hi, good morning. This is Stevie Mack. And today we have a special guest on our podcast. We have a dietitian, Miss Natasha Ashley from Cornell University. How are you, Miss Ashley?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Good. So we know our community, and when we say our community, I'm talking about Black and brown communities, right, who were affected and hit hard by COVID-19, greatly impacted by the coronavirus. And we want to, it's reactionary, but now we want to be proactive because there are scientists and doctors who are saying that we may be getting into a second wave. Now, in your field as a dietitian, I wanted to really converse about what are some ways our constituents can prepare themselves and be proactive and be ready. So one of the first questions is really, we think about our diets, right? And I think about salts and sugars, and I'm guilty of that myself. Sometimes there's just easy snacks. They're cheap. They're available. Are they really good for us? And I kind of know the answer, but more or less, what can we do to prepare ourselves and if there's a second wave of this?
Yeah, so the answer to that is just try and eat as best as you can. And I understand that during this time, some people may have lost their jobs. Schools are closed. So that's why I always put in as best you can. And by that, I really mean trying to make sure that you have all of the food groups when you're consuming foods, less processed foods, less saturated meats and things like that. Making sure that you are drinking plenty of water, not consuming too many sweetened beverages, getting some exercise, getting sleep, things like that. Just kind of like basic nutrition is what helps you to have a strong immune system.
Great. Thank you for that information, by the way. Could you give us like maybe a menu, like something that we can have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and just the course of the day that might help the immune system?
Sure. So what I would say is if you have something for breakfast, it always depends on if you're, on the go or not. So for example, for breakfast today, I made an omelet. So in my omelet, I have lots of vegetables. I have like some mushrooms or some onions, peppers, tomatoes. I'll add some cheese in there, and that's my dairy. I may have some kind of fruit or yogurt or something like that on the side. So you got your fruit again, and maybe like a slice of whole wheat toast. So that kind of encompasses all of the food groups for your breakfast. So if you're doing something very, very, very quickly, you can do yogurt on your own, not like the fruit on the bottom, because the fruit on the bottom has a lot of sugar in it. Gotcha. So if you have your own Greek yogurt, whether plain or vanilla, and then cut up some fruit and add some fresh fruit to it, that's always a lot better. A lot of fruit are in season now. It's like summertime. So you can add some fresh fruit to that. That's your protein in the Greek yogurt if you're having that, and the dairy, and you have some fruit. You can have some vegetable as a snack. I don't know if you like, baby carrots or anything like that. You can have that with some low-fat ranch dip. Even like some ants on the log. I don't know if I used to eat ants on the log when I was younger with the celery. They have the peanut butter. So celery, peanut butter, and then you put the raisins on there. So it looks like ants on the log. Gotcha. That's really cute. For kids, I still eat it too. So, hey.
Yes, it's a healthy snack.
It's a healthier snack, yeah. For lunch, you can do a salad, pack it with all kind of vegetables on there, not just the iceberg lettuce, because iceberg lettuce has like little to no nutrients in them. So a nice dark green leafy vegetables, they have like the mixed greens, they have like some spinach, some arugula, something like that. Add some other vegetables, some red peppers, any kind of vegetable, roast them, put it in there, maybe have like some shrimp with it or some chicken, whatever type of protein that you want to have on there. Maybe you don't eat any meat, you can add some tofu, something like that. And then for dinner, you want to try and for all these meals, there's something called MyPlate, myplate.gov. That's a website you can go to. And essentially it's like a plate, of course, and you split it in half. Half of the plate should be your fruit and vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
The other half, a quarter of it is grains, whole grains, and then the other portion of it is your protein, and then you have dairy. So for example, if I'm having dinner, maybe like some collard greens, that'll be half of your plate. That's perfectly fine. You want to watch out for the processed meats that you put inside of the collard greens. I know a lot of us like add bacon to it.
Maybe a little piece of pork.
Pork in there. Okay. So, I mean, maybe like a turkey neck or something like that. That might be slightly healthier, slightly. Okay. So you can do that. Maybe like some grains, some quinoa or some brown rice, even like rice and peas on there, some macaroni and cheese, but that'll be like a quarter of your plate. Mm-hmm. And then the other quarter of your plate would be the protein, like some baked chicken, some fish. You want to go for a lean meat. So like a chicken, turkey, or a fish. If you're having any type of beef or anything like that, you want to try and trim the fat off if you can. Doing things like baking or broiling instead of frying is always healthier, and making sure that you're watching out for additional calories when you're making these foods. So, like added butter, any type of condiments like ketchup, they have added sugars to them. So there's some sneaky things in the condiments and other processed foods that you may not know are in there. And of course, staying hydrated, having plenty of water, and watching out for your sugar sweetened beverages, because there's lots of grams of sugar in a lot of those drinks.
Gotcha. Thank you, by the way, for that, Natasha. So a lot of us live in food deserts. I'm not proud to admit, but I happen to live in a food desert. What are some ways people can still shop smartly or in a smart manner, right, in their groceries? What are some strategies they can still use, whether it's the local mini mart or the grocery store or the quote unquote bodega? Are there still things that we can do to be successfully healthy?
Yeah, so absolutely. So in my job, I supervise nutrition educators who go out in the community and they teach nutrition education to parents, to youth who may be in food deserts. In order to qualify, you're supposed to be of limited income. And so what the educators, one of the points that they usually bring up is when you're consuming your fruit and your vegetables, it doesn't have to be fresh, okay? You can have them frozen, it can be canned. For canned, you want to, make sure it's lower sodium, or you want to wash it a little bit and drain it if you're using those types of things. So having canned vegetables, that's no problem. Having different perishable foods like that, it's no problem at all. I think that sometimes when we go in bodegas, we don't usually get the healthier foods, but they're in there. And even some bodegas have different initiatives where they have like fresh fruit and vegetables in them. I think we're just not really looking for them. There's always, in many bodegas, they have an option where you can make your own salad. Yeah. But it's just, we don't really go for the salad. We go.
We got juice bars.
And we got juice bars. We got all kinds of things. It's just, I think we're used to eating not so healthy foods whenever we go to these places, but healthy foods are available. We just kind of have to look out for them and be ready for, some form of a change, a gradual change, just incorporating one additional vegetable to your day. Not even to each meal, to your day. And then once you do that, maybe you can add 2 into your day and more. So taking baby steps. But there are healthier foods out there. They may not be like as blatant as they are in other neighborhoods, but there are there, and there are different programs that assist with that. Different food pantries are doing giving out healthier foods as well. So you can check websites, your local churches, to see what they're giving out. So there are options that we have. We just have to just take the time and effort and explore it. Exactly.
I got you. Great information. I feel like this is really helping. I know it's helping me, and I know it's helping our listeners. Real quick, in terms of those brothers and sisters who are frontline workers, right? They've been out all day, exposed to God knows what, right? They come home, they're tired. What's something that they could grab on the go, or is there something they could do at home that might help boost their immune system that you would recommend?
So foods with vitamin A are usually like the orange yellow color.
Gotcha.
So like carrots, sweet potatoes, apricots, things like that. Okay. Also foods that have vitamin E in them, so they're good. They have like fat soluble vitamins, so they're good at supporting immune health. So those are things like nuts and seeds, spinach, avocado. Green tea is always good. It has great antioxidants in them. Yes, but watch out what you're putting in the green tea, though. We like to add lots of honey and milk and sugar, and that may be like defeating the whole.
Counterproductive.
It's counterproductive, exactly. So just some green tea. Maybe if you want to add a little agave or something like that. That is still a sweetener, but just watch out for the amount in there. Things like vitamin D, of course, and vitamin D comes from other things that are not dairy as well. So if you're worried about the dairy, you can have like some salmon or some tuna, some yogurt, egg yolks, things like that are not actually dairy. Yogurt is, it's fermented, so it's a little bit different. Mm-hmm. Speaking of yogurt, things with probiotics in them. So probiotics help with your immune system, with your gut health. So things that are fermented, so like yogurt. I don't know if you've heard of kefir. That's something that's fermented. It's just a different form of milk. It's going to taste a little bit different. It may taste a little bit like buttermilky. You may just give it a try, see how it is. They have like some flavored ones that might be a little bit easier on your taste buds. Okay. Even things like sauerkraut, that's fermented too. Kimchi, some people like kimchi as well. So, and then like B6, water, even things with zinc in them can help promote immune function as well. And with zinc, lots of foods with protein in them, seafoods have a lot of zinc in it too. So just a balanced diet, and maybe include some of these things, and that'll help to keep your immune system strong.
Nice. Natasha, is there like a piece of advice? Because we saw the devastation. I lost couple people to this whole COVID-19, right?
Yeah.
Is there a piece of advice we could give people? Hopefully we won't have a second wave, but let's say we do. Is there something you would tell as an expert in your field? Is there one lasting piece of advice you would like to share?
And it's not even, well, it is related to my field, of course, but like legitimately washing your hands. Okay. Washing your hands is so key to not spreading any type of viruses and bacteria. I know it was a little bit of mix up with if I get my groceries, if I get my packages, do I need to wipe them off, blah, blah, blah. And they've shown that that's not really the biggest factor when contracting the virus. So I think the most important thing is make sure you're washing your hands when you're coming in and out, before you're preparing any foods, before you're eating any foods, before you're after you're touching anything. So making sure you're washing your hands for 20 seconds with soap and water is very important. And also we've been saying the same things, wearing your mask when you're outside. I know it's summertime, so you guys just need to go ahead and buy you some masks that'll match with your summertime outfit. That's what I'm doing too.
Right.
So just go ahead and get you some. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. So enjoy the summer weather. Get you some nice masks. Try and social distance as much as possible, and making sure that you're washing your hands are very, very key.
Natasha, we thank you. We appreciate you. Is there any website, anywhere we could reach you?
Sure. I have my own website. It's natashaashleyRD.com, so you can reach me there. So if you have any questions about nutrition and health, you can make sure that you go to my website, or you can reach me at natashaashleyRD.com if you want to email me.
Right. Thank you. You heard it here. Natasha Ashley, dietitian. Let's take care of ourselves. Let's stay healthy. Thanks, everybody.